Hey guys, really excited to show you these new ambient pad drones that I've created for multi-tracks. As you're probably aware by now, you can now use all of these ambient pad drone type products inside multi-tracks playback app. So if you want more information on that, just go to my YouTube channel, check out the pads and playback video here. It's only 30 seconds long, but it just shows you how to get them to show up in playback. As you're probably already aware as well by now, you can use these a lot of different ways. You can use them as transitions between songs. This especially works well for using them with tracks or using them with the playback app, because the last thing you really need is dead air or silence between tracks and kind of ruining the momentum of your set list. So these are really good for transitioning from one track to another, changing key, that kind of thing. You can also use them as ambient pad drones over a whole song. Especially works well if you've got a cutback band and you're just wanting to have this nice ambient string pad or OB ambient pad drone, just to fill out that kind of pad area. I use these kind of things inside Mainstage, especially at the 8 a.m. service that I play at Hillsong Church. Because the 8 a.m. service, we only have one keyboard player. So I'm usually playing piano and I need something to help with transitions and stuff. So that's how I practically use them in a live setting. Okay, just one other thing before we get on to audio examples. If you want some more practical tips on how to use these for changing key and that kind of thing, check out OB Ambient Pads. Scroll down to the walkthrough video and kind of jump to about 5 minutes, and that's when I start playing a few different progressions with the piano and showing you how you can use them to build dynamics and change key and all that kind of thing. So that's available as well if you want some more kind of tutorial videos on how you can use them. Okay, let's get on to these audio examples. I'm going to show you the string pads. I'll show you the wave version first. This first one, so there's 3 different versions as you can see. The first one is an ambient string pad, just playing 151, so it works in major and minor keys as well. Goes for 12 minutes, and yeah, it's kind of a reverby, very low velocity, soft string ambience. So here we go. Cool, so that's a quick taste of what that one sounds like for the key of A. Let's go down to this one. This is one of my favorites. So I've taken the same kind of concept, but instead of just holding 151 or 158, as one is the octave above, I've actually introduced a little bit of subtle movement. So I add the second and the sixth of every chord in there. So it actually sounds like a real string orchestra playing a progression rather than just 151. But again, it might not be practical for all situations, so I've given you just the 151 and one with movement as well. I'll play this one for a little bit longer so you can kind of hear what's happening with this ambient string movement version. So that goes on for 12 minutes, and I'm physically playing that, so it's not just a repeated phrase over and over again. It's an actual kind of string performance for 12 minutes. So that's that one. Now the shimmer one is similar to the first one, except I've added an octave shimmer reverb, but I've also automated the octave part of the shimmer reverb. So it kind of ebbs and flows and gives you a little bit more kind of movement than the first one does. So this is this one as well. So as you can hear, the kind of octave part of the reverb's kind of ebbing and flowing and coming in and coming out. And just so you're aware, you get all of those different versions when you get the ambient string pads. Okay, let's move on to, let's go to the organ one for now. Then I'll jump back to the to the mellow OB ambient pads. So this is the organ that I've used on a lot of different Hillsong albums, Hillsong United and Hillsong Worship albums. 3 different versions. Again, we've got a dry one, which does have a little bit of reverb in it, but that's basically the default setting that I use, is the dry version here. Then we've got a mix of the wet and the dry, and obviously the wet's 100% kind of really ambient organ reverb. I wanted to give you just a few different options, so you've got them there. I'll play the organ dry first, and then we'll move down to the other ones. I'll give you a different key as well. Okay, so that's the dry. It's a kind of B3 overdriven organ sound there. Let's go to the mix version, same key. And the last one, which is really wet. Okay, so now onto the mellow OB ambient pads. I actually had quite a few people request a mellower version of the OB ambient pads that I have already on sale on Multitracks. So instead of just putting a filter on, I actually re-recorded my OB6 through my Big Sky again, and I created different versions with a lot more of a low pass filter on them. So we've got mellow ambient pad. This is the first version. Again, these are kind of more mellow than the first ones, and they've got a lot more bottom end too if you're wanting that kind of ambience. So that's the first version. Now the second one has added reverb, and I've taken a little bit more of the top end off. Not a ton, but just a little bit more. Okay, and the last one has a really drastic low pass filter, so it's even more mellow than the other two that I just showed you. So that's the mellow OB ambient pads. A lot of the pads on Multitracks are really bright and shimmery, but it's really good to have an option of a really mellow one. So what I'll do is I'll do a follow-up video to this, just showing you how easy it is to mix and match all these ambient pad style drones inside the Mainstage templates. I might do it with a complete worship bundle, but the same principles apply to these Mainstage templates as well. It's simple. You just drag and drop, and you can have the flexibility of using different ones for different songs, or even crossfading between two different ones. So I'll do that in addition to this and include it in the walkthrough videos for these products. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later.